She lived life the way she wanted to and made her dreams come true.
Hello, beautiful being. I'm Trini, and I'm a spiritual worker, tarot reader, and sound healer. Welcome to your general tarot reading, which is pick a card to know what are your spiritual gifts. Now, I don't want you to feel limited by what you hear in this reading. The process of developing your spiritual gifts, that is infinite, and it'll continue not only over the span of this lifetime, but in the next lifetime as well, and in the next. But this is just sort of like a snippet or a snapshot of where you are right now with your spiritual gifts, as well as some recommendations to develop those gifts and to use them on a deeper level. Now, one of the decks that I'll be using is this mediumship training deck, and it's by John Holland and Lauren Rainbow. I had it for a while and I hadn't used it, so I was like, okay, let me go ahead and consecrate it and use it because I was interested in using it for this reading, so I really like it. So that's the last deck I'll pull from, and I'm going to share the ritual with you. So I'll switch to like a very calming scene and read that ritual to you to provide some support for you on your journey. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put up the image for you to select your group, and I will see you at your reading.
Close your eyes and take a deep, cleansing breath. When you open your eyes, see which group you're most drawn to. If you need to, you can pause the video, but don't overthink it. Just go with what you feel. When you're ready, I'll see you at your reading.
Hello, group one. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and see what message Divine has for your spiritual gifts. All right, you've got Sage. So you have the gift of wisdom, and with this elder being depicted here, I see that you are a very old soul. You have evolved many times through many lifetimes, and so sometimes you might feel very bored here on earth. You might feel very frustrated because you look around and you say, what is wrong with these people? Why can't they just get it together? And in your mind, you kind of see things from the perspective of, it's just not that complicated, people. Can we get it together? And that's because you are a truly old soul, and you have collected so much wisdom, and you have come into this life with that wisdom that you've learned from lessons that you've repeated and that you've mastered. And so a lot of times when you look at other people, you just feel like, there's a disconnect sometimes because you feel like it should be easier than what it is. But I feel like you try to have patience, and that's all we can do, is to be patient with ourselves and to be patient with others. But yes, you are definitely a wise soul. I also see that it's not just wisdom on a soul level from these ancient lessons you've been learning since you've been learning so much with each lifetime, but it's also about a very grounded sort of common sense. And so you're able to look at a situation and sum it up and come up with a solution that it just makes sense. And it's something that sometimes you feel like other people should be picking up on this stuff, and that can actually lead to a feeling that something is wrong with you. You may feel like an outsider sometimes because you see things from a different perspective, but you're not. It's just that you are gifted. And a lot of times people with gifts such as yours, with this wisdom and common grounded sense, they feel sort of disconnected because they're not understood. Other people aren't seeing things all the time from your perspective, okay? All right, you've got chameleon. So you have the ability to, and we see this reflected in nature with the actual chameleon, but and with so many different species that are able to blend with their surroundings. So that is a gift. And you might feel sometimes like when you shift energies, like if you go around a certain group of people and you sort of mimic or mirror them, and then you go to another group and you mimic or mirror them, sometimes you might feel like you're not being real. Sometimes you might feel like you're not keeping it real. But I want you to understand that this is a gift. Okay? Look into like Marvel comics, and there's only men in my house, my sons and my husband, so we watch a lot of comics, and Marvel and DC are like all through our house with comic books and things we watch on TV. But it's really good to sort of understand some of these gifts that come to us. And shapeshifters, that's something that is an actual gift where you are able to adjust your energy to whatever it is that you need to in order to get to where you want to be at that point in time. This is sort of dark energy, okay? Some people would look at it as manipulation, but others would just look at it as using the gifts that you have to get to where you want to be. So there is absolutely no shame in it. I think that it is an amazing thing. And do it to the point at which you are comfortable, because I see that you are able to sort of shapeshift and blend in with your surroundings. And it's not about doing it to the point where you feel like you are lost as far as who you are and you don't recognize that anymore. Always know who you are within. But blending with the group that you're with, if that gets you to a certain place where you really want to be, there is no shame in that. Just know what it is. It is dark energy, and so you'll need to balance it with your light. And, at the right time, come back into alignment with what's natural and normal to you. Okay, but it's a gift that has to be used wisely, because you don't want to get lost in it, but it is absolutely beneficial to you when you need it. Okay, you've also got create and care for sacred space. So there's a need right now for you to create a space where you're able to do all of the rituals that you want, where you're able to have that freedom to have an altar or do some rituals that may require some noise or the use of candles or whatever it is you need, but you need the freedom to create your own sacred space so that you're able to manifest. What's coming to me here is manifest, because that comes from mani, or hand, like in Spanish, mano, la mano. And so when you create that sacred space, you're able to really send out that energy and work with the frequencies around you and shift them so that you're manifesting what you want. Okay, so that's going to help you at this time. You may live with someone that doesn't necessarily look at the things that you want to do with adoration. Okay, they might not support this. And in that case, I would say, do what you can to just have your own sacred space, even if it's in your closet. But work towards having more freedom. Okay, so work towards being able to have more space where you can do this freely. Okay. Yeah, that can be a little tricky when you live around someone who does not think the way that you think. But, work your magic. Work your magic and create your sacred space. All right, you've got individuality. So I already know this came up before, where with that wisdom that you have, that sometimes you might feel sort of pushed away or excluded because you are truly an individual. But I want you to notice how, at least I think that this woman is beautiful. This being is gorgeous And so Divine is saying that you are absolutely beautiful because you're not like everybody else, because you are unique. And so the very things that you have assumed that people wouldn't want to have anything to do with you because of, or that people would want to part ways with you because of, or that you were afraid to enter a new situation because of, those are the things that are the key to your success, to your happiness, and to your total well-being. So embrace those things about yourself that you have pushed away because you thought they weren't acceptable, or you thought that other people wouldn't want to, get to know you because of. Those are the things that are the most beautiful about you. Okay, so yeah. All right, I'm going to pull a card for what chakra needs some love and attention right now, some balancing. So you've got the third eye, and that's to open up to your intuition and to be confident about it. I feel like sometimes you might doubt the messages that you're receiving. And so Divine is saying to really work on trusting yourself, and to actually say that when you are feeling doubtful of your intuition, say, I trust myself. Just those 3 words are so powerful. They're so powerful because so often we don't trust ourselves. And to shift the energy in that moment and say, oh, no, I do. I trust myself. It's like we say I do to marry another person. Traditionally, that's what you say, I do. But how often do we say I do to ourselves? Do you trust yourself? I do. Will you honor and love yourself? I do. I will. That is so important, and it's so powerful. So when you're feeling like you're, like some information comes to you and you're like, no, this couldn't be right. I must be just a little bit off today, or, no, that's just crazy me. That's your spirit. Okay. All right. Let's see. And you've got emotional balance. So yeah, in order to really work those gifts that you have, to activate that wisdom. Because see, that's the thing. If your third eye is out of balance right now, then that sage wisdom that's trying to come through is going to be like muddled. Okay. So trusting your intuition is so important at this time, and doing some work with the third eye chakra, but also emotional balance and harmony with the anahata, the heart chakra. Okay. So that's really important right now. And also I'm seeing, because heart chakra is Mother Earth, so connecting with the earth, grounding yourself, thanking the earth energy in your chart, okay? And activating that for balance and stability, okay? All right, we're going to take a look at conflict, lesson, and outcome pertaining to your spiritual gifts. Okay, lesson. What's the lesson for group 1? Oh, okay. And the outcome. All right. So for the conflict right now that you're facing is sacrifice. So there's something that Divine really wants you to be willing to sacrifice in order to improve in another area, or in that same related area. I see this as time. I feel like Divine is requesting of you more time, more devotion to your spiritual practice, but it's not as overwhelming as it may seem sometimes. It's just simply like, for example, 5 minutes a day in the morning time, where you are, before you're giving time to everything else and to everyone else, you are making yourself a priority. You're making your soul a priority, your connection to spirit a priority. And you're just sitting, maybe facing the window, facing the sunlight, okay, facing the rising sun, and lighting a stick of incense, and just breathing and just being. giving gratitude for that nighttime energy you just experienced and welcoming that masculine energy. Okay, so balance of the sun, right? So balancing your feminine, your dark energy, and your masculine light energy. Okay, so yeah, giving some time, but I feel like it needs to be, at least for now, sort of encapsulated in an amount of time that's very doable for you right now. Okay, because sometimes we sabotage ourselves when we're like, yes, I'm going on this mission to evolve and I'm going to do like, an hour a day. Sometimes an hour a day is just a little too much. We might need to start with 5, 10, or 15 minutes. And trust me, that done diligently will make a world of difference. Okay. Let's see, for your lesson, you've got heart chakra, and that came to you before. Oh yeah, that was with this for emotional balance. So the lesson is with emotional balance. It's with, and what I see with, because, emotional balance, what does that mean? In this case, what I'm getting is that Spirit wants you to welcome those emotions that you're having that you may have been pushing away, to explore them, to observe them, to say, what am I avoiding anger because that's not a good look? Who says it's not a good look? Society says it's a good look. It's not a good look. So that's not even pertinent to your individual journey. What society says is not a good look for you does not determine what's right for you and what's not. So allow yourself to embrace those emotions that you may have been pushing away because you've labeled them and society has labeled them. Let yourself really feel what's coming to you. That's so important, because with this stage that we're in right now, globally, we have to be patient with ourselves and with our process. This is all about adaptation and evolution. And so there's so much change that's involved. And that's when we really have to be patient, because change is not easy for humans. But we're getting there, okay? And you're making amazing progress. For your outcome, you've got intuition. So yeah, that's what's coming to you, is increased intuition. You had that third eye chakra card, so you're definitely tapping into different levels, higher realms, higher dimensions. And so the dreams that you have, the contact that you have from spirits, protect yourself, all right? But also allow those things to occur, because they will guide you to the next level, okay? And when I say the next level, I'm talking about the next level of self-awareness, the next level of growth, the next level of saying, this is my journey and I'm proud of it. This is what I do. This is who I am. So yeah, you're opening up to a lot. Okay. I'm going to close with a mediumship training deck card. Let's see what message divine has for you. Reaching out to spirit. Reaching out to spirit. So I'm going to put up a relaxing scene. I'm thinking maybe a beach or a river, something like that. So it'll be soothing and relaxing, and then I'll read your ritual to you. So I hope you enjoy, and please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy your ritual.
Communication always benefits and enhances any relationship, and that includes the one with spirit. Many people believe that the only time to connect with spirit is when you want to link with those on the other side. In fact, spirit, the divine source, is there for you anytime you wish. At different times throughout the day, try to stop for a few minutes and reach out with your mind to spirit. It could be simply to reach out and connect to say a quick hello, or it could be a good time to ask a more specific question. You might choose to ask a question about a situation that's happening in your life, a story you saw or heard on the news, or something that's happening elsewhere in the world. Equally, it could be a time that you simply seek guidance. Sometimes the response might come right away, or it might just take a little while. The answer can come in many different ways, such as a sign, a symbol, part of a dream, or even a synchronistic event. Working with spirit is very much a partnership, and no matter what form of communication takes place, it's a vital part of the process. When you take the time to reach out to spirit, you are tuning yourself to a higher vibration or frequency similar to a radio signal. Every time you connect with spirit, the stronger the connection becomes. I hope this message was helpful to you, and I wish you peace, joy, and many blessings.
Let's go ahead and see what message Divine has for you for your spiritual gifts. White Witch, be the light. I'm getting spell work. I'm getting rituals. I'm getting that a lot of things come naturally to you that perhaps you have wondered, what does this say about me? What does this mean? Is this okay? You may have been influenced by religious teachings that told you that something was wrong with the desire to do witchcraft. And, that presents a hurdle for people who are spiritually inclined and who want to do ritual work. But Divine is saying to start with where you are comfortable, because that be the light. Of course, we all have light and we have darkness as well. Divine is saying to start with where you're comfortable. Okay, you don't have to push yourself further than where you feel you should be. Especially in certain cultural groups, there are certain practices that are very well respected. And you might feel like at this time you don't identify with that just yet. You want to start off with something else. Well, you know what? You have a very, very expansive ancestral background. And so you are able to select from any of the energies that lie within your DNA. Okay, so there's nothing to be ashamed of. Start with where you want to start on your journey. And an example of that would be like, for example, if you are Black American and you want to start with Wiccan traditions instead of with hoodoo, that's perfectly okay. If that's what you feel that your soul is drawing you to, then go there, because things evolve. And a lot of times there's just a part of a tradition that your soul really wants to reconnect with that you knew in a past lifetime, and you don't understand why you are drawn to that in this life. But that's because it's in your past. It is within you. It's just not what you identify with culturally in this lifetime. So follow your soul and know that you and your spiritual evolution, that journey is far above any social norms, any cultural limitations that would be placed on you. Go to the place that your soul is calling you to go. Okay? All right, I'm going to pull another couple cards. Okay, only one came out. I might pull a little bit more from that deck. All right, performer. You are meant to be in the spotlight. What I'm seeing here, though, is that there's a certain sadness in her face, okay? So, this could be, what I see here is that you are meant to share, to communicate, to put your ideas out there. I feel like there's so much spiritual knowledge that you have that if you're not sharing it, you're really doing yourself a disservice, right? Because I know that there are times where you're just like, I gotta tell somebody this, I should post this somewhere, or I should write this down, or oh, if I were writing that book, or so you have times where you wish you were putting things out there, but you may be avoiding it. Okay, and I feel like this is due to insecurity. That's the sadness that I see in her face. I also feel like there are perhaps worries of what people will think of you. So, insecurities and questioning yourself, questioning why you're not fitting in and talking about the same old stuff that everybody else is talking about. Sometimes you wish you were a little bit more boring. Sometimes you wish that it were so easy just to fit inside the lines, to get inside that box and live there. But you've never been comfortable there, and that's because you're bigger than a box. You're bigger than a box, and you cannot be caged in. But what's really important is also to remember that in sharing things and putting things out there, you also need to keep some things for yourself and private and personal. Nothing was meant to be 100% like, oh, I give everything away, or I keep everything to myself. There's some balance there, okay? All right, I'm going to pull another card. Let's see what Divine has for you. Find space to rejuvenate in reverie. All right, so you have the gift of pleasure right now. You have the gift of connecting with truly divine energy. And I'm seeing you like with this, a palm tree where you're lying back in the sand and looking up and just seeing beautiful lushness around you, or beautiful blue skies. I see you relaxing on a beach. I see you relaxing outside in the great outdoors, really connecting with nature and being able to, what Spirit is saying here is that the gift of that is activation of your gifts. So those spiritual gifts that are within you are going to be activated at this time as you connect with nature, as you relax and honor yourself and worship yourself. Okay, so these are things that we've been taught are either, from satanic to evil to whatever, but they're the very things that we need. And I see that with that White Witch card, where it's like there are things that you really want to do that you feel like, okay, what this has been labeled, I've been told all my life that this was wrong. Or, so-and-so said when I was young that this was going to send me to hell. Or, so there may have been some fears there. And I feel like you were well on your path. But sometimes, every once in a while, those thoughts pop up. And you're like, am I pushing this too far? Well, Divine says that as long as this is soul-led, as long as it's truly from what's within you, it will never be too far. It's exactly where you're meant to be. Okay? So, if you can get a vacation or, just go outside and connect with nature. But I see you making an intentional effort to make it special, okay? And you're going to benefit from that so much. And you're going to activate a lot of your spiritual gifts. You've also got movement. So with this, I'm getting fire and air energy, where there's movement. I'm getting swift energy, okay? So this is where you are in a state right now to move forward with whatever goals you have. Some of these goals are spiritually related, and some of them are for your love life or for your prosperity. But whatever it is that your soul has been leading you to do right now, just know that you have the power to accomplish that. So this is not necessarily like a spiritual gift that you would have from the beginning of your life until you ascend, but it is something that is coming to you very, very strongly right now. Okay? So, yeah, this is about movement. This is about moving forward. This is about taking advantage of the energy of manifestation that you have available to you right now. And this is because of cosmic transits. This is because of planetary transits and cosmic energy right now that's available to you. So move forward with your goals. And yeah, you have that power. Lots of manifesting power. And that goes back to this, which is all about manifestation and doing those rituals that you want to do because they resonate with you, and getting some things on and popping. Like, you have that ability. Okay, so I'm asking what chakras need some tender loving care at this time, some support and some balance. And you've got the third eye chakra, okay, and that's the mind. So that's all about thoughts coming to us that do not serve us, and learning over time, because it does take time, to choose our thoughts, to alter our thoughts, to direct our thoughts. And once you become that magician, okay, of your thoughts and your thought energy, you will notice that you're manifesting on a different level. You'll notice that you're vibrating on a much different frequency, because it's very unrealistic to expect that even though we're, spiritually on our path and all of that, that we're only going to have positive emotions. That's never the case. Okay, we need light and we need darkness, so we're going to experience both, right? But when those negative emotions, those negative thoughts come to you, when you can adjust them, you can decide, okay, is this something that I need to learn from and analyze for a minute? Do I need to sit with this? Or is this just some nonsense that's coming to challenge me and to give me some fear, to test me? And so you're doing that. You're strengthening the control of your thought energy. Okay, but continue to do that and work with that third eye chakra to have more power over your thoughts. And you've also got the crown chakra, inspiration, ideas, spark, conception, and impulse. So what's necessary here? This is that crown energy where you are directly connected with your higher self. And you are so in tune, and you're taking those downloads and you're trusting them. That's what it's about. It's about getting those downloads and trusting them, that it's not craziness. It's truly meant for you. Okay? Because impulse and spark, there's this like wait time. Sometimes an idea will come to you and then you're like, you have just too much time to think about it. And then you start doubting yourself. Nah, that can't be it. I don't know. So this is about gaining confidence within your connection to your higher self. Okay? I'm going to pull a couple cards for conflict, lesson, and outcome regarding your spiritual gifts and your spiritual path. All right, so the conflict is conflict and defeat. Well, there we go. This is the 5. This is all about internal conflict and external conflict. I truly feel what I'm getting is that if you take your eyes off of what other people have to say and what they think of you and what they must be thinking about me right now, it's so easy to live that way because that's how we're taught to live. We're taught to care about society. We're taught to care, and caring about society to an extent is good when you want to, make humanitarian efforts and help your neighbors, and of course those things are good. But when we are so intertwined, when our sense of who we are is so dependent on the society around us, that's when it gets really dangerous, okay? And that's when we're hindered in the growth that we can make with our spiritual development and our spiritual gifts. So I knew when that witch card came up, I was like, okay, yeah, you have a close connection to spirit. But I also see a heavy amount of dark divine feminine energy, which is heavily associated with witchcraft, okay? And it's labeled. Let yourself be free. Let yourself move forward. Remind yourself that as far as heaven and hell, we have those right here on earth. And plenty of people who go to church every single Sunday are in hell right now because they are miserable. So the only thing that could put you in a hell state is avoiding who you truly are and what's truly meant for you and what you feel every single day is drawing you closer to it, which is your soul and your true path and your purpose. That's what you want to go towards. And there's nothing that anyone else can say that would have an impact on you as far as what you are able to achieve and what you're able to manifest. So move forward knowing that you are protected and that you are on your path that's right for you. Okay? And it doesn't matter what anybody else has to say about it. For your lesson, you've got transformation. It's all about transformation. It's all about embracing where you are right now in your process of change, because you really are. I see you going through a huge amount of and it's like accelerated motion. It feels like it's going so fast sometimes, and you're just like, can I catch my breath? Because it feels like lesson after lesson after lesson after lesson. And it's because you're going through transformation and change right now. But your outcome, it will be worth it because your outcome is shadow. And so what's happening there is that you are embracing both sides of you. And when I say both sides, I mean the side of you that you have always been comfortable sharing with the world, as well as that side of you that you have felt like you had to hide. You're embracing both. And you're saying, I'm here, y'all. And I really don't care about what you got to say or what you got to say or you. I'm here and I'm being me all day long. Okay? And there's so much joy that will come from that. So much joy. And peace too. Okay, I'm going to pull from the mediumship training deck to close. And then I will put up your screen. That'll be nice and relaxing. And share your ritual with you. Okay? All right, you've got clairsentience. So feeling, connecting with spirit through feeling what you feel. And yeah, I'm going to share this with you, the ritual. Hopefully it'll be very helpful to you. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And enjoy your ritual. Take care.
Clairsentience is the most natural of all the psychic senses. It's the ability to sense the emotions or feelings of other people, animals, and your surroundings, as well as spirit people. Don't underestimate the power of clairsentience. It can assist you in all areas of your life and enhance your connection with spirit. Our bodies act as one big psychic antenna. When meeting someone for the first time, most of us have a gut response, or when walking into a room, it's possible to feel vibrations. When a medium is working and using their ability of clairsentience, they're able to feel or sense the spirit's energy, whether it's male, female, young, or old, and the nature of the illness that might have taken the spirit to the other side. The medium should be able to describe the spirit's personality and their mannerisms, and in some cases take on the characteristics of the spirit. This is the most common way most mediums work, and there are no limits to what the spirit can make the medium sense. Clairsentience is felt through the solar plexus center. You can strengthen this ability by practicing daily. Focus on your solar plexus center and ask yourself what you're feeling. Be sure to do this when you're meeting someone new or making an important decision, When you start asking how you're feeling, tuning into your solar plexus and paying attention, the psychic ability will strengthen and grow. I hope this message was helpful to you. I wish you peace, joy, and many blessings.
Hello, group 3. Let's go ahead and see what message Divine has for your spiritual gifts. Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. This is a perfect card for right now. But you also have the spirit of the fox that is coming to you. That is intellect. You are very, very intelligent. And not only are you intelligent, so I see that there may be some air energy. You may be an air sign, or you may have strong air energy in your natal chart. But definitely you are intellectual. You're able to, I feel like you have the gift of gab. You're able to really make people feel comfortable around you. And sometimes I feel like this creates a tendency to focus on where other people are because you're so perceptive. You're able to like go into an environment that's brand new, sort of get to know what's going on, and bam, you know what the deal is. And not only do you know what's going on, but you know solutions that would help people in that situation and in this environment. So you might be the person who's starting a new job and you're like bored because you've already figured everything out. You don't really want to work with people to figure everything out because it comes so easily to you, you know? That's because this is a gift that you have. You have the power of intellect. And the really wonderful thing about the fox spirit is that you also are grounded, okay? So you also know what needs to be done. You sort of have a quick solution in many cases, okay? Because you don't want to mess around and waste time. You can get in there and figure out what's going on and move on to the next thing. So sometimes there might be a feeling of impatience or boredom when you get into a new situation. And Divine is saying that this is just one of the sort of side effects of this spiritual gift, okay, of being so clever and being so intelligent. So set an intention to be patient with yourself and patient with your progress and your the people in your environment as well, okay? And that'll help you to not feel frustrated when you've already figured everything out and you're just waiting for everybody else to sort of catch up. And that doesn't make you arrogant either. That doesn't make you arrogant. It's just that that's your gift, okay? You have magnetism. You have a natural ability to make others come after you, possessing a powerful aura that makes it difficult to stay away. And what you might notice there is that everybody says they want to be magnetic. Okay, we say that people who are magnetic are so, you know, they have this spark about them that this just it draws people in. But when you have that gift, what it can feel like is that people come to you no matter what, and they're always coming to you, and you need boundaries, you need time for yourself, you need to draw your line in the sand so often that it can get kind of annoying because everyone's drawn to you, but you still need your time. And also sometimes it can be difficult to decide when someone loves you and when they just love what they think you can do for them or the vibe that you give them. Okay, sometimes they're in love with that. And so that can make this gift a little bit difficult, where it sometimes feels like a curse and a blessing. But what happens here is when you get to the place on your path where you know your energy so well, when people come to you, it no longer becomes entwined, no longer become intertwined with their energy. And so you know exactly when you're starting to feel like, wait a minute now, I've had enough. I've done enough for you. I've had enough of your energy at this point in time. I'm going to step back and reclaim my energy. And so it gets easier and easier to do that, the better and better you know yourself. So it always goes back to self-love. As long as you are nurturing yourself and doing those rituals to honor you and your energy, you're going to find that that magnetism feels more like a gift than a curse, because you'll automatically know when you are feeling tired, or you'll automatically have that really pure intuitive guidance that lets you know this person is not here for your sake. They're here for this goal or with this intention, and you'll know right away. Okay, and it gets a lot easier at that point. Okay, you've got delight in the sweetness of life. What I'm getting here in this magnetism card is that some of the connections that you've had, because you are so magnetic, and that's not to say that the connections happened because of you. It was destiny. Even if they didn't work out in the way that you had hoped, there were lessons that were learned. There were patterns and behaviors that were broken because of those experiences, even though the experiences themselves may have been a little painful or very painful. But because of that darkness that you've experienced, sometimes there is there's this feeling that like you don't have time for the sweetness in life, or you don't have the energy to really focus on the sweetness in life, because there's so much healing to be done, or there's so much that needs to be checked off. There's so much that you need to do and to accomplish, and I feel like you push yourself sometimes. But Divine is saying that your gift right now is to delight in the sweetness of life, because you are so magnetic and people are drawn to you. Sometimes you feel very tired, and it's like I see you putting yourself last on the list a lot. And so you're doing a lot for other people, and then where is the sweetness in your life, right? So take time to just slow down and to really enjoy the blessings. Maybe take a vacation, do something that you really love. Take a day off and do whatever you love to do. And if you have a hard time resting and relaxing, because this card is coming up that's a need right now to enjoy the sweetness in life, then on your calendar for the day, put everything that you want to do that's fun for yourself. Take a bath, read a book, watch your favorite TV show. Like literally things that you would feel like are an indulgence. Put that on your calendar, on your agenda, like I must do this. And what you're doing there is you're making yourself a priority, and it's on paper, it's there, and so there's no way that you can get around it. Okay, you kind of have to, you're committing to have fun. So try that and enjoy the sweetness of life. Okay, all right, and that's going to open you up to a lot of the gifts that have been blocked. If you've been feeling like you wanted to make progress in a certain area on your spiritual path, you're going to find that just having fun and enjoying your own energy is going to open up the blessings and the possibilities that you have with that gift, okay, that you've been wanting to develop. All right, you've got the invisible card. So what I'm getting here, there's a yeah, okay, so this is cool because you got the magnetism card, which is where people are drawn to you, but you've also got the invisible card. I feel like you have a very strong magnetic energy, but you may have shut this off for a while. You may have felt like you wanted to sort of disappear and become a wallflower for a while, because that's your way of sort of avoiding this energy that's so drawn to you. Okay. People in the past have come to you like a moth to a flame because you have that light. So you've been dimming that light quite a bit, and you've been sort of fading into the background so that people don't really bother you. This can come through as hermit mode, which is okay, because that's with the goal of spiritual enlightenment and spiritual growth. But when it starts to turn into depression and extended periods of sadness, depression comes to us to teach us something, to let us know that, okay, yeah, you're uncomfortable now because it's time for you to make this change, or it's time for you to realize this so that you can move forward in a higher vibration, in a higher, in a happier way. Okay. So yeah, if this invisibility is turning into sort of like a depression that's for an extended period of time, then you'll want to make sure that you are really giving yourself that opportunity to get back in touch with your light, to, no longer feel like you have to blend in and fade into the background, that you can be your beautiful self. And you can also set boundaries and say, yeah, I'm out here shining, and I know that I'm magnetic. I know that I'm powerfully, attractive, and I know you're drawn to me, but I'm also letting you know that I will draw my line in the sand when I need to. Okay. So there's going to be a balance there. Oh yeah, you've also got the moon came up as well. So that's hidden. So I feel like you've been drawing yourself back from people, and that's where a lot of our honesty comes from, a lot of our self-reflection. And so as long as it serves that purpose, it's perfectly fine. You just don't want to stay there forever, okay? Because it is going to be time to shine again. All right, so for the chakras that need some TLC, some tender love and care, some balance right now, you got the solar plexus for the inner child. So I feel like you're a person who is you may find that you have some introverted ways, and you tend to go within, and for that reason, you have the gift of really reflecting on your past experiences. And what's needed at this time is to go back to your childhood, okay? But with a willingness to celebrate whatever is there that can be cherished and honored. I feel like there were a lot of things that happened during your childhood years in your past that were painful, and that you've had to heal from, and that you're continuing to heal from. But Divine is saying to reflect on, even if it's just one or two experiences that were positive, to draw on the energy from those experiences, because that is going to help you to really bring balance and healing to your inner child, okay? And also when you're ready, because this is heavy work, okay? Sometimes, it's not always the time to do this inner child work alone. Sometimes you need some support, okay? But when it's time, go back to those places in your childhood that still bring, that are still a source of pain for you. And open up your heart chakra to receive beautiful divine love and healing energy. And from crown down to third and heart chakra to receive divine love and healing energy, and then project it to your the years of your youth where you experienced these traumas. And There's some very powerful work that you can do in order to heal your inner child. But Divine is saying specifically for right now is playfulness, lightheartedness, innocence, and wonder. To go back to those happy times. And like I said, you know, for some of us, those happy times during our childhood were few and far between. I completely understand that, trust me. But even if it was just a brief memory that you have, something that was positive, something, a time where someone smiled at you or blessed you or helped you with something, focus on that and express gratitude for that moment in your past. And that's going to help balance some of that healing or spread some of that healing energy out throughout your childhood for your inner child to benefit from. Okay, so that's going to be really beautiful. You've also got connection. So Divine is saying to connect with others. And I'm seeing that because I feel like you've been in that moon energy, sort of hidden and invisible. But to really enjoy the sweetness of life, sometimes at some points in time, we do need to connect. And so do this at the level that's right for you at this time. It may be online, it may be in person, it may be with someone that you already know, it may be opening up to meeting someone new. But yeah, allow yourself to connect with others with that heart chakra. Okay, I'm going to lay a couple of cards for conflict, lesson, and outcome. Okay, this is really cool because already for your lesson, you've got solar plexus, which is all about that inner child and having good memories and celebrating those positive experiences. So yeah, this is about your solar plexus and bringing balance to it. For the conflict, you've got fulfillment of wishes. I feel like there are some things that you have wanted to have at this point in time, and you feel like frustrated sometimes because you're like, why am I not there yet? Why have I not achieved this and attained this? And Divine is saying to look within for the fulfillment of your wishes, to look at the richness that you have already within you. That's why you're being guided to really cherish and balance the energy of your solar plexus at this time and of your inner child. Okay? Yeah. A lot of peace is going to come to you as you do this. A lot of peace about things that have happened in the past. This is going to be a huge phase of healing for you, so just know that. And then for your outcome, you have hope. So there again, I'm getting solar plexus energy, sun energy, moving forward, coming out of that darkness that you've been in with that moon energy. But what Divine is saying is that this is so cool because you have such, it's like a beautiful, like both ends of the spectrum are so beautiful with you. You know, it's like your dark energy, your light energy, they're both amazing. And so Divine is saying to not lose the beauty and the sweetness of your light energy because it has been abused. It has been unappreciated. It has been taken advantage of. But you are healing that. You are loving yourself. And you are so much more self-aware now that you are able to really channel healing energy to those points in your past that caused so much pain for you. Okay. All right, and I'm going to close with a mediumship training deck card. And what I'm going to do is put up a nice calming screen and read the ritual to you. But your card is Spirit Guides. I Okay, so spirit guides, and I will read your ritual to you. I hope that it's helpful. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And enjoy your ritual. Take care.
There's a place within the realm of the spirit world where you can access guidance, inspiration, and support throughout your spiritual development. It's a higher realm where spirit guides, angels, and masters exist. They're here to support your mediumship and spiritual development, so just reach out and connect. Every good medium must learn to work in partnership and collaboration with their spirit guides, to know how and when they draw near, and how to forge a strong link. Meditation to quiet the mind and breath work to create balance and rhythm are some of the ways to blend with their energy. A good practice when you're in your meditative space is to open your heart and soul so you can receive their light and love. As you feel their presence, breathe in their energy to allow them to connect with you. As the relationship grows, you will find your guides offer you inspiration, new ways of thinking, and methodologies to heal. Inviting your guides to connect throughout your day can bring assurance, grace, and ease into your flow of life. If you don't know what to ask for at first in the way of advice, just trust in your guides to offer support and direction. Know that they won't interfere in your life lessons that you are meant to learn. Don't forget to honor all the blessings and wisdom that your guides bring. I hope this message is helpful to you. I wish you peace, joy, and many blessings.